Anyway, here are the packs. Anything to your fancy?
Well, supply spec is always a pretty strong SPC. It's got the Hound. I mean, honestly, Scion's got some great choices. I love all of them. What do you like here?
I mean, oh, I don't know. Yeah, the Typhoon Bulk arc there does look like a fantastic pickup for Scion, so I kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
Conclusion, two Stormcaller packs. We'll pick up one of them.
yeah, that's a fair pick there. I think Quick Supply is just like your most stable, like pretty powerful economy SPC. So it does make sense to pick that up here.
Oh, and we get to see Quick Supply on the new patch immediately with
Yeah,
double
once
sledge
again,
purchase there from Conclusion.
that's such a cool line. Like, just no real chaff, just starting it off with a bunch of 200 cost units and like those tanky arc lights. I mean, as long as you can kill the balls, you're basically invincible.
Well, it looks like Scion will just be posturing for a long range game, however.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder how long he'll keep the balls. Like, you can keep them forever, but I feel like when players want to keep them forever, they sometimes put them further back. So I'm not really sure.
I guess it'll just depend on how much the steel balls get done here. If they end up being a a nightmare to deal with for Conclusion, then he can keep them. If they end up just dying instantly, then maybe sell and buy something else.
Yeah, for sure. Give them a little tryout, see how they do, see if they make the team.
Well,
Oh, these storm
Stormcrawlers will
volleys.
have, yeah, easy targets to shoot on. It's the nice thing about those sledgehammers, keeping the units in place.
Yeah, true. Just perfect timing there. Decent little victory here, looking like 650 damage roughly. Not bad to start things off.
Kind of to be expected. He did have an additional 200 to spend there, which he did. We'll have to see if Scion will be able to already mount a comeback or whether or not he'll have to wait until his Typhoon on round 4.
Yeah, for sure. Well, for help here, we've got, I mean, the ER Phoenix is interesting. I think Wasp Swarm is also decent. I don't know if Conclusion would really buy Fangs to stop it or.
Yeah, ER Phoenix already picked up. It's a lovely card because it allows you to usually get into things like Charge Shot Phoenix quite early on if you want to. And if not, it allows you to contest things like Marksman in long range fights.
Yeah, that's true. It's a pretty interesting card. I like the Charge Shot shout, although I do find that to be usually a bit more relevant in aggro.
Yeah, it would be more of a defensive or offensive tech, I agree.
Yeah, Photon Coating, wow. Okay, I mean, it lasts pretty long, so even in a long range battle, you can get use out of it. And it's so cheap that, yeah, I think it's a decent pickup.
Well, it looks like a Steel Ball already has been sold to be able to fund two Phoenixes there. And Conclusion will opt to put that photon coating onto one of his sledges on the right side and buys two Mustangs to try and deal with any air threat that may show up.
And I'm not crazy that that's a spicy line, right? Like, who does that? That is such a weird thing to do.
Yeah, double Mustang is kind of unconventional up against triple arc lights and crawlers, but I guess he has a read here. He has a decent front line at least. The sledgehammers are still going to be hard to kill for those phoenixes,
Yeah, I love the way he
and there's
spaced
just,
it. He
yeah,
put
all the
the
way against the
Mustangs.
backboard.
Yeah, exactly. Because like until your Mustangs get range, like they do sort of just run too far forward, and they have like the same range as sledges roughly. So by putting them in that spacing, it sort of like made them behind just through spacing. Ooh, a laser sight as well. Improved tarantula? Nah, probably not.
It's a fun card, but I don't think you want to play it in a long range fight.
Yeah, looking kind of like laser sight or skip. Scion decided really quick that that's what he wanted. It's all about the
I
range. He
think
took the ER
it's,
Phoenix as well.
yeah, it's just one of those cards I think that you can't easily skip. Laser sight is always going to be valuable.
Yep. Ooh, okay. Well, we talked about this player being unconventional. There you go. Speed in
Taking
a
the
long range
speed.
battle. Yeah. And he
Well,
sold a
that
storm.
it might signal that it's not going to be a long range fight for much longer.
Exactly. But what's the unit of choice? Waiting for unit
Double
drops?
crawler. It might be a setup for just like a big purchase. He's known to play Spawn Factory as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Arclight Mustang Crawler could be the base setup for a War Factory.
For sure, he's gonna be very rich because he's got the Stormcaller cell already lined up, and I think he might just play whatever unit is offered next because we have a guaranteed unit drop next.
Yeah,
So yeah,
round
we'll
4
see.
though,
Yeah, I mean,
there's like a level 2 Melter. But all of the other units, I'm not sure. Maybe there's like some Sabers in there, but you wouldn't necessarily want to play those in Standard either.
yeah, I mean, I'm not. I guess he'll still be standard. I don't know. It's a weird line. I'm not really familiar with how to navigate this, so very interested to see.
For now, it's paying off, though. I mean, Scion is already down to 2,200 as we
Yeah,
get the unit drops.
I mean, these are cool options like Fang carry, Hound carry, Rhino tempo. I guess Sabers is like a long range, like tanky sniper unit if you want it.
Scion going to opt to go for those 2 level 2 Rhinos. I mean, Hound might not be the worst. It's not great versus Arcs, but as long as they're kind of upper level,
Yeah, exactly.
they're going to be
Blue is
decently
nice.
tanky.
It's the Sabers. Okay. With speed, honestly, it's not the worst unit to have speed, but I think he will take things long range still.
It's a nice pair up with the Mustang, just good frontline, and it's good against the Rhinos as well.
Yep. Okay,
Oh,
I'm wrong.
well, you mentioned the quarter. There we go.
Yeah, I've experienced this firsthand, but he did it like a little bit earlier against me, and it was a Wraith in the corner. I was aggro though. This is a little bit different. This is like standard versus standard, and then he switches to aggro. Pretty weird. But it has some nice side effects. Like the right side of the board here for Scion has a bunch of units that are just not going to do much at all. He's even like kind of oiling himself here, TBH.
Yeah, that's not going to pay off
Ooh.
too much.
Look at that. Level 2 attack enhancement round 4. Have you ever seen one that
I can't say I have. Maybe with like cost control or something, but
early?
not with something like quick supply. That is properly unhinged.
Yeah, it's honestly not bad. Like, if you compare that tech to something like the armor penetrating bullets on Mustang, like it's totally fine. But yeah, it's just not something you see very often. But the damage is coming in handy, I think.
Look at those Rhinos though. I mean, the debuff there is perfect, but that Rhino was having none of it on the left side. Almost managing to kill the second Sabretooth as well.
I honestly think that Scion like kind of oiled himself. Like, I know he couldn't have foreseen this crazy turn, but like the
Yeah,
Rhino
this
being in that oil was not good.
Yeah, it ends up working out really well. Oh boy. I mentioned the factory. There is the card. Both of them pick it up. It is Sion's favorite unit.
Yeah, true. In conclusion, as you said, also pretty dang good with that unit. More as a summon player, spawning player. But when you get improved War Factory, you don't want to spawn stuff, right? You want to brawl, I
No,
think.
you just wanna yeah, you just wanna brawl. That thing has crazy stats. It already has crazy stats by itself, but when it's improved, it gets that 40% additional hit points, 15% additional attack, 10 range, and it doesn't end there. It's one of the few cards that actually decreases attack interval by 0.2 as well, and that's on all of the 4 guns.
Yeah, it's just such a crazy card, and it's free to take, like just the 50 difference of skipping. So honestly, it's just a really powerful card, and depending on the round, you do often just want to snap pick it and just get right into it.
It's also just the perfect unit for this type of situation. Like, you're getting kind of surrounded, and the War Factory guns can't quite shoot everywhere. But if you're surrounded like this, you will often get basically full uptime for all your 4 guns.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it just handles the sabers so well. Okay, another crazy thing just happened. Conclusion floated 600, and yeah, I didn't buy the War Factory yet. Like, what do we make of this? I
I
don't.
think
It's
he's waiting to
such.
buy a level 2.
Oh, okay, okay. I like that. That's a cool line. Let's see if he
You
goes for
kind
it.
of
But
have
for
to do
now,
it. Especially now,
Yeah.
like you have to go for level 2 improved, because if you go level 1, you're just going to be behind.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, you could also just not go into War Factory, try the Melter line, but that feels pretty sketchy to me.
Yeah, but you
Will
took
it
the card,
level?
you know?
Yeah, it costs a 50 though. It's not a lot. Is it gonna level? It's gonna level, right? It's actually a really big deal if it levels or not.
Doesn't look like it's going to.
Oh my god. Okay, this is huge. Now Conclusion can make the level 2 War Factory like you said. And Scion's on like last breath here. Like 1300 HP is nothing.
Yeah, he can't really afford any mistakes.
Yeah, 100%.
Amplifying core picked up. I'm a bit surprised by that. It's a
Me
decent
too.
item on Mustang, but it's not something you would pick if you go factory, because, well, that unit can't hold items.
Yeah, I agree. He doesn't. It was unclear whether it was good for him. So
Oh,
that cell, I saw that coming, but it's not blue. Why is it not blue?
it's gold.
Yeah, true. I don't know. This is so weird.
Just want to say that he has perfectly kept 7 spaces there for his factory in the corner. So he was already kind of aiming for this as an option from the very start.
Yeah, it's so cool. So cool to see. Okay, what are we doing? We're making it blue.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there is a blue factory, but it's on the other side.
I mean, Scion's got the round then, surely, right? Like,
Yeah, there's no way. He goes, well, there is War Factory Overload, but level 2 stats is just crazy amounts. This thing has 455,000 hit points.
yeah, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how Conclusion reacts. I would, I could see him just like making a blue on himself, I guess. I don't know. Oh, we got a loan coming out as well. Scion's gonna have like no money next turn, and Conclusion's gonna have a huge opportunity to like sort of allocate more resources at the problem.
Yeah, I mean, Scion still has some things to sell at the very least. He can still sell, like, the Typhoon, so the
Yeah,
loan shouldn't
absolutely.
be the worst.
Yeah, definitely still playable. All right, the blue factory's locked on.
Oh, that's
Oh,
taking more damage than I maybe expected.
yeah.
I love how the factory is just driving by.
Yeah, seriously, it's like a car accident. Oh my gosh.
Perfection. Well, it will be the level 2 factory coming out ahead just about, but the Mustangs are still alive, and those are starting to get scary. Keep in mind that Amcor was picked up, and I think there might still be some Mustangs in there with an Amcor on them.
Yeah, they're juiced up, like level 2 tower enhancement, and one of them's got the amp core. Oh, it leveled at the end there. Like, that's also a formidable part of Conclusion's army here. Look at the money difference though, 900 versus 1250. Like, Conclusion's got a lot more money to play with.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like, Scion can sell at least the Typhoon there, so it'll be somewhat even, but it's a big difference for sure. We do have the unit reinforcements, though. Is there anything in here
I
that
don't
you're
know,
looking
like,
at?
I think Vulcan for Scion, he tries to throw incendiary bombs, maybe?
Yeah, that could be a play. Oil already has been used, so I guess that's not an option.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Scorpion Acid as well, but I'm not 100% sure that makes sense.
Looks like it is going to be what Scion will try.
EMP
And
is a
we get
great move here.
EMP.
I mean, it's only, what, 400, and you shut down the launcher overload. I think it's like an alright play.
This is an expensive turn, though, in terms of techs. Well, I did get triple deployment Scorpion, goes for the range, picks up the EMP as you said, but now suddenly on the other side of the board, we've got Fang spawn fortresses sitting in smoke.
Yeah, it's funny that it's in smoke, and I also just think that, like, the play in general is, like, kind of fascinating. Like, you already have a war factory, it's already teched. Like, you could just buy more of them, right? That would be, like, economically sound. But he's like, nope, I want to diversify, I want to get other big giants.
Yeah, it's tough though because they don't have the efficient maintenance. So
Yeah.
I guess if he just wants to, well, he just only needs to win one round, right? If he's conclusion, but
Hmm.
the tough bit is he's up against that level 2 factory that's hard to deal with. But this beacon just does not look like the play. Oh my god, that is not
Yeah,
good.
not good at all. Now the launcher overload is there, so That's a big power spike. Plus the EMP shutting it off. Scorpions are doing all right. I just think the forts were not the play.
Yeah, the War Factory, by the way, will be able to level next turn. It ate
Oh
through
boy.
all of those high-level Mustangs that carried last round, and, well, it's angry.
Yeah, that is pretty scary here. I don't know if Conclusion can come back or not. Like, it's a weird position he's got himself into now. Like, how do you handle a level 3 War Factory?
Yeah, I mean, you could try and click Ignite Fang, but I don't know, like, that's not easy, and Scion could just click Photon Coating.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
that is pretty
the
funny.
weird part is that Factory is kind of a counter to this type of Fortress strat. The Fortresses will eventually start winning if it's way too late into the game, but yeah, not when it's just basically being set up from the ground up on round 7.
Yeah, exactly. Just not enough time here. The War Factory's getting just crazy levels. The oil here with the Vulcan drops, pretty interesting. Now we got the Blue Factory. Okay, I wish we did that earlier. Is it going top right? Yes, it is. That's a cool line.
And we're going range. Scion opting to pick up the Vulcan's Descent and pairs it up with oil that's back off cooldown. So wants to try and burn those fangs. And sells... Okay, so Scion not quite sure about what he wants to do there. First leveled his War Factory to level 3, then sold it, and now rebuys the level 2 on the line. But that could be problematic. There is that level 2 factory from Conclusion just staring right at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it now. I think that was a throw. Let's see. I would have been so much more happy to just have like a level 3, but maybe he thinks that a melter's coming. Like I don't know. It's interesting.
Oh, we do get
Photon.
Photon.
Yeah, that's nice at least, but like, isn't it just gonna die? There's so much
Oh
DPS.
no. Oh no. Oh, the Vulcan locked onto the factory and didn't set the board on fire.
Yeah, that's also not great. Is there any hope here left for Scion? I don't think so. We've got Giga Mustangs, right? A big
I
War
mean,
Factory.
the left side is still winning, but the factory is not going to be killable.
Maybe he can survive if he kills everything else but the War Factory.
Yeah, definitely needs to kill that fortress, and then needs to kill a couple Mustangs along the way as well.
Okay,
We'll
okay,
get
I
the
think he's
debuff.
fine.
Rhino
actually.
putting in some work. Okay, he will live. Factory deals 500
Okay.
damage.
Do we see acid now, maybe, on the Scorpions? Like, that could be a cool move.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, oh, like, do you sell the factory? It's in such a dire position there.
Yeah, he keeps doing it, and it keeps costing him
Raiden.
100. Yeah, big fat
Ionize
Raiden.
Raiden?
Maybe. The other drops are kind of weird, so... I mean, Wraith, like, degen? Like, I don't know what you do with these drops.
Well, Scion picks up the Raiden. It is Conclusion's favorite unit. I don't think it's that bad in this situation.
Maybe. It's hard for me to tell. You think it's good because of Ion, or you think it's just good, period?
I think it's a good period, but I can see, like, trying Ion here. I mean, this game is, like, so weird. Like, you have to try some stuff. And Conclusion will be going for the Ionize. And same thing for Scion.
Oh my god. You are a prophet, Rooster. We got Fang
I
Shield as
mean,
well.
it is,
Okay.
like, such a big counter to Raiden, right? It's probably, like, the biggest counter in terms of tech
Yeah.
versus given unit.
Yeah, 100%.
And it also ignores Photon. So...
Yeah. So a big thing that's happening here is that Conclusion just invested $500 into the Fang Shield technology, but the Vulcan just got placed by Scion, so all of that Fang investment is going to be useless here. A white Raiden as well, why not? More Raidens.
I mean, Raiden with Ionize doesn't really care, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just deals 40% of the unit's hit points per shot anyway.
Yeah.
There we go.
And Photon
Oh,
doesn't
look at
protect
that
you.
chunk.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
That
Both
is
War Factories
wild.
falling
Well,
at the same time.
you know, rounds 7 through 8 were the War Factory's time to shine. Round 9 is where Raiden comes to play.
The Mustang's got to do some heavy lifting here, otherwise he's going to lose the game.
Oh, this is so close, but the Phoenixes of the extended range and that laser sight sitting safe in the background, and that will win the game for Scion.
Oh my god, I
That
thought game
was...
1 was crazy, but this one was crazy too.
Yeah, though, this takes the crown.
I think it does, yeah.
That is a roller coaster there. 2.4 KMR as well, by the way. Scion on an absolute tear from the looks of it.
Yeah, 100%. Such a crazy game. I don't know. Like there's some weird stuff too, like randomly going into Scorpions, but it's like the Scorpions were such a small part of the picture, honestly. Like they exist and they were teched, but like it was all about the War Factory and the Raidens, I feel.
Yeah, that drop made a big difference on the last turn for sure. Also, Scion did opt to buy a Vulcan himself to try and light that oil on fire, so I think that definitely helped out, giving
Yeah,
those
100%.
Raidens an easier time to basically hit the important targets.